everyone, my name is Ricardo. I'm originally from Portugal, from a small island called Madeira Island. And when I was born, every day that I went to sleep and every day that I woke up, I just saw the sea, I saw the ocean, and that made me be really in touch with nature. So when I came here to the Netherlands, one of the first things I did was trying to implement sustainability in our university. And together with other 4 or 5 people, we created the Erasmus Sustainability Hub that, as you might know, has a lot of impact on campus regarding sustainability and even on the city. Apart from that, the year after, I took care of a project called EcoCoin, and we established the first sustainability currency on the world. And now, when the pandemic started, together with some friends of mine, we created Stay Rotterdam that was meant to create a bridge between the people and the community and Erasmus. So we created this big online community for everyone to feel like they belonged, to feel part of the community. So what happened was that when university got cancelled, my volleyball season got cancelled as well, and my volleyball team was my family. And then one of my best friends that I spent so much time in the Netherlands, she went back home. And then I started thinking, if I'm feeling like this, but I still have so many people around me that I could spend time with, how would the people that are more introvert or more shy, that might have missed all the friends and all the friends went back home, how would they react? And then I just thought to myself, somebody has to fill this gap, somebody has to be here and hold the community together and make sure that we, as a UR community, do not crumble. So then what I decided, I created a team with people that I knew that were really out there, really extroverted, really proactive, that could take this idea of a community and put it further. So the community is the most important thing. So because we as humans are social animals per se, and when we are just by ourselves, and if you see some research about people that get into solitary confinement in prison, they do it so people start to improve on their behavior, because we as humans are meant to be together. So imagine everyone, all the 30,000 people that are related to our university, they're just locked down in their places, and then they start being susceptible to all those conspiracy theories, all the 5G, and then cases like, for example, depression, loneliness might increase. And community doesn't need to be just physically, community is just a feeling. So then, through tough times, there's nothing that helps us go further than feeling like you belong in a group. That's why I believe that the concept of Stay Rotterdam and what I wanted to achieve is to make sure that no one felt alone, no one would allow this pandemic to take a little bit of their joy and happiness in their lives. And that's why I'm really happy that I've accomplished that, and we as Stay Rotterdam accomplished that, and I'm really proud of that. I do think that the most important thing, like, ideas are everywhere. You can have 1001 ideas, but that will be just nothing more than a little bit of energy on the cosmos. If you want something to happen, put it down on a piece of paper. Contact people that will allow you to take the project further. Because if not, you by yourself, you can do a lot of good things. But by yourself, you go faster. But together, you go further. So that's why I believe I had this idea. We need to do something. It was tough finding someone that would like to do this project with me, but the person that I found, Femke, allowed this to go so much more further. And then you start building a team around it, start putting ideas on paper, not just talk about them, because everyone can talk, not a lot can do. So put an idea on a paper, build a team, do some concrete actions, set some deadlines, and just enjoy the ride. The first step to do a good team is first understand what are your strengths and your weaknesses as you as a person. Then see what are the things that I'm lacking. For example, in my sense, I am lacking a little bit of the organizational part in terms of structure and more formal stuff. I can do them, but it's not my strengths, and I'd rather focus on my strengths. Then I got someone that could fill that gap. And then us together thought, okay, we can do this really good as 2 people, but we need someone else. And then eventually you start thinking, okay, what are the strengths of your team and what are you missing? And eventually you start to have a team of 6, 7 people around, all with the same topic. One thing you cannot forget, regardless of how many people you put together on the team, you have to have a concrete vision that people can adhere to. Because if not, people are just going to be there to spend some time. So that's really important. Apart from that as well, is that when you're building a team, make sure that when they are part of the team, they feel acknowledged and they feel like they have responsibility. I'm really a strong believer that you as a human, you as a person, you as a leader, you only have the limitations you set yourself to be. Everyone could have said, okay, this is hard because everything out there is, everyone is stopped doing. For example, you saw the senior organizations, most of them stopped doing stuff. All the events got canceled and everything. But if you as a leader you only have the limitations that you have. I personally saw it, this situation, less than a threat, but more as an opportunity. I saw there's a gap that needs to be filled. I can talk about it, a lot of people talked about it, or you can pick yourself and do it. I wouldn't say that per se I had any obstacles. I would say that there were less easy things to do and harder things to do, because I don't like to tell myself that I have limitations or challenges. I just say this is a mountain to climb and I'm gonna climb it. So that's what I believe. I don't believe that per se I had a specific challenge, because if you see that there's a lot of challenges, then you're gonna be a little bit overwhelmed. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. But if you frame it differently, you see, yo, I have so many opportunities, then you can get further. So I think that it was really positive for myself and for others, and that can be shown by the growth of the platform itself. But more important for me, if you ask me, okay, what's the KPI for the project, is like how many connections were made, how many friendships were made. And I do believe that we are 3 months in, 200 events in, and there's people that still enjoy spending time with each other every night, then they validate the concept. The fact that newspapers like AD did a coverage on it, not just for like the platform itself, but one event they organized together with Wild Theatre. If you saw Erasmus Magazine also put an article about it, and then we being present in Erasmus TV, or me just being present here, means that something was done well. So on the beginning the reception was great, and now it's still being great because we never stop doing what we're good at, just pushing and being creative. I think that during this quarantine and during this pandemic, what I realized, what I learned, is that people are capable of both really good and both really bad, being really supportive or being really destructive. And it's all a question of how they frame their energy. It's people that now they frame their energy into some bad actions to others, and there's people that turn it into something great. People that go outside and they buy groceries for the elderly people that cannot go outside, and I think that's amazing. For myself, I just think that it is not per se one thing that I learned in terms of who I am or anything, because I'm really aware of who I am and I work a lot of myself. I do mindfulness and meditation a lot of times, but for me it was more of a realization about how others think, how others perceive hard times, and how to trigger people into doing positive actions rather than negative actions. I think, so from a point of Stay Rotterdam and where I want to take my team and the project, is that we were not created to be the 91st organization on campus. We were meant to be a community that links everything, because Erasmus University is kind of missing a little bit of a glue between students, associations, and they're working on it, and kudos for the university to be working on them, and I believe that they're doing the steps in the right direction. But I do believe that where the community goes, we are gonna go. Because when we started the team, our team is composed by 20 people from 5 different faculties. We have people on our core team that are gonna be the future, and going to be in the future boards of Erasmus Extreme, Menactus, Extraordinary Life, Wild Theatre. So our team is composed by the community. And it goes back to, if you have a diverse team, make sure that your team is diverse, wherever you want to take your organization is so much easier, because there will be more openness. So we're probably going to shift a little bit more for hybrid events, so where we can have both the online component and we can have also the physical component. But if, let's say that this ends tomorrow and everything can be physical now, for sure you're going to see us do physical events. We're following where the community goes, we go.